one-of-a-kind event, the James Hardy Pro Football Hall of Fame Invitational. From March 31st to April 6th, the action takes over the old course at Broken Sound in Boca Raton, featuring Hall of Fame legends like Warren Sapp, Calvin Johnson, Andre Reed, Rondé Barber, Chris Carter, and more. Tickets are on sale now at JamesHardyInvitational.com. Don't miss your chance to be a part of the home of legends.
Welcome to Recycle Right Trivia, sponsored by the Solid Waste Authority of Palm Beach County. Question 1. What belongs in the yellow recycling bin?
Newspapers, cereal boxes, magazines?
Correct! Now, blue bin. What goes in there?
Plastic bottles, aluminum cans, glass jars?
You nailed it! Remember, Palm Beach County, recycle right and stay in the game for our planet.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you can drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 1063.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Boy, I really hope Jimmy Butler's, welcome back video, his tribute, is not as long as this Heat season feels.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people. He's back. He's back. Is that like did I sound like the Cam Newton? Remember with Cam Newton, the Panthers game versus the Cardinals when he had left Carolina, went to New England, it was ugly, and then he comes back and he has that big game, I think like 3 touchdowns. Big celebration. Was that close, C-Cat?
Yeah, very close.
Wait, can we find C-Cat, please? Because usually C-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the 1s and 2s, but on the day that Jimmy makes his return to the Kaseya Center, there's an imposter among us. Who the hell are you? And what the hell did you do with the bearded C-Cat that we know?
So, for our radio audience,
oh my goodness.
Our audio audience,
like
whether it's on the ESPN app or listening after the fact on our podcasts, yeah, my usual beard is all but gone. And sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes you act too swiftly in the bathroom.
Oh.
And you do something that cannot be undone. And I happen to have done that this morning.
Wait, so this isn't on purpose, this whole this whole change-up you got going here. I know that tonight is also, not only is it the return of Jimmy Butler, it is championship. Like, we're going to crown a champion in TGL tonight. We'll both be at SoFi Center tonight to see that happen for the very first time. You didn't do this to be clean-shaven, so you congratulate? No?
No.
How do you mess this up? Because, by the way, C-Cat's beard is usually very thick, bold, jet black. It is. It's not one that you can mistake. And right now, you look like a stranger. Like, if you had a baby and you did this big shave right here, the baby would have that weird reaction. You know how fathers do that all the time on, like, TikTok and stuff? The baby wouldn't recognize you.
Yeah, they, like, cry. It's like, no, and they grab your face and they start crying because they don't recognize their father.
So how do you screw this up?
I don't know if our fans recognize their father, me, the father of radio on ESPN 1063. I keep our kids in line on these airwaves. I picked up the electric razor, and it was not set at the number that I leave it at. It goes from 0 to 0.5 to 1 to 1.5 to 2, and then increments of 1 up from there all the way to 10. And I usually, when I clean up my beard and I shorten it a little bit to make it a little bit more clean cut, a little bit less straggly, I use number 6.
Right.
Respectable number. Nobody comes up to me and goes, "Oh, wow, haircut. Oh, wow, whoa." It's not jarring.
Yeah, I've never noticed a change in your beard before. We've worked together for like 2 years.
Until today.
Yeah.
When someone, at some point in time, for some reason, for whatever their motives were, changed my number 6, dialed it down to a number 1.5.
So that's a huge gap. How many numbers are we talking in between there on that dial? I'm guessing it goes 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
It's about 5 notches.
Yeah. So it's no mistake.
4.5 difference. I don't know what that unit of measurement is, if there is, with just levels.
It's crazy.
Maybe it's millimeters, maybe it's centimeters, but I can't handle that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have 4.5 to spare.
Yeah.
4.5 goes from cowboy to naked mole rat. And this is brutal.
Yeah.
And I'm sad. I don't
sad
recognize
too.
myself in the mirror. And the sad thing is, it's not like I shaved my whole face, did it without a mirror, and realized at the end. No. One stroke of the razor, and you realize I've made a horrible, horrible mistake that I've now buckled myself into for the rest of this horrid 30-minute experience.
So where'd you start on your shave of your beard? Because if I was you, I would just leave that one little patch. I would leave the one patch and then trim the rest down the number that I wanted at, and then just have that small story instead of having to explain to everybody how you are, you look lesser of yourself. Imagine if we have to do a one-on-one tonight with the TGL champions, and they're like, we want C-Cat doing that one-on-one interview. Now for the rest of your life, when you look back on the tape of you doing an interview with either the Atlanta Drive or the New York Golf Club, you're going to hate the way you look. You're not going to like it.
It's like the opposite of JG, or what is it, the Men's Warehouse store?
Yeah.
You're going to hate the way you look. I guarantee it. Yeah, I do hate the way I look. The thing was, I started on my right cheek. I just went straight from neck all the way up to high cheek.
Oh, you did one
long
fell swoop.
And yeah, it was awful. And I kind of sat there, fist to sink.
It's tough.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those days, isn't it?
Sorry about that, man. And you know what? Here's one thing that could comfort you. Not only are we going to watch some great TGL at SoFi Center, tomorrow's Golf League, crowning a champion tonight, which will be great. Tomorrow's Golf League, crowning a champion tonight, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because I don't want to confuse people. Yeah, it's TGL.
It is both tomorrow's Golf League and it is tonight's.
Yeah, it's tonight's Golf League. It'll be the main attention. We also are going to have a return of Jimmy Butler to the Kaseya Center. He is a polarizing figure amongst Heat fans. He is a polarizing character within the NBA, and he will be making his return to play against the Miami Heat, who have lost 9 out of the last 10 in a Golden State Warriors uniform, and we'll figure out soon if Steph Curry will be available and ready to go. But what we do know is Jimmy's going to be suited in the number 10 jersey, and I hear he's had himself an eventful week, and apparently ahead of this game, C-Cat, Jimmy Butler was kicking it at Big Face Coffee on Sunday, playing dominoes with fans and locals. Like, apparently he was there for like 6 hours straight, just playing against any fan that popped up into the his Big Face Coffee shop.
So any like Heat fan, I assume,
Could
right?
be.
If he's at Big Face Coffee, it's not like there's a plethora of Golden State Warriors fans down here.
No, that's going to be mostly Heat fans, or at least South Florida or Miami natives, who are going to pick up a cup of Joe and end up facing off against Jimmy Buckets himself. I'm curious, because I read about this in an ESPN.com article that came out this morning, as we've been hearing more and more about the behind the curtains of Jimmy's departure from the Heat, as well as some of the decision-making he's done since. I'm curious if anybody's beat him. Like, in a 6-hour stretch, I know Jimmy he prides himself on being elite at 2 things, basketball and bones. And if you beat Jimmy at dominoes, I would think that would impact him in the same way that him losing a basketball game would be. Like, he considers himself like a pro, the level of attention to detail and how much he cares about that. If you beat Jimmy this past weekend at Big Face Coffee, please let us know and tell me how that went. 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776, because C-Cat, the way I think about it is, similar to how we've talked about with like the Jordan Crawford dunk on LeBron James, or even they said that back in the day, LeBron apparently was in some open gym and hooped up on Jordan and some of the current day NBA folks of that time back when Bron was in high school. I would have to imagine Jimmy got those tapes erased.
Yeah, wipe it from the internet.
No phones.
Escalades pull up.
Yeah, like you beat Jimmy at Big Face Coffee in Domino's, and before you were able to even walk out of that door, it's like two dudes waiting at the door for you, grab you by both arms. We're going to need that.
Here's an NDA.
Yeah.
You sign that right now.
You sign that, and also there's a white van right outside. If you don't want to sign that, then we'll deal with you in there. One or the other.
Now, did he pick up Domino's when he came to Miami, or did he already have Domino's experience before he was a Heat?
No, so the thing is, Jimmy grew up on Bones. Like he said, that's the way that his father, Jimmy Butler Jr., taught him to count. Like he's been probably playing dominoes for as long as he can remember as a kid. That was what his pops was like a lead in. That's what his pops, that's the way that they connected on several levels. How some folks, have fond memories growing up of, I guess, throwing the baseball with their dad or playing basketball on the court. I'm sure they played a little hoops, but out in Tomball, Texas, a suburb of Houston, Jimmy learned Bones, and he was good at that game. He said, in fact, in the article today, if you can check it out on ESPN.com, he talked about how him and his dad used to hustle folks in dominoes. He takes his stuff really seriously, so it was kind of perfect when he came to South Beach because he was kind of like right at home with it.
Yeah, this is like the United States capital of dominoes. I've never heard it called Bones. I don't know what circles.
I'm sorry. Dominoes. Bones. I'm sorry. You've never heard it called Bones for real?
Never in my life.
And I've done it like 3 times now, and I'm guessing you're just like, all right, I guess I got to like make mention of it now.
Yeah.
Keeps going at it. Okay.
Yeah, maybe someone else is at home like Bones. Like, are we talking about Jacks? You ever play Jacks? Like pick up sticks?
I used to love that game. What happened to Jacks?
I don't even know the rules to it. I've only seen it like in a little pouch.
You never played it?
It's like a bouncy ball and these spikes, right?
Yeah, it's all about kind of dexterity, quickness. You got to like bounce the ball, pick up the Jacks, and catch the bouncy ball. The only way that you can count the collected Jacks that you pick up is if you also catch the ball in said same hand that you have the Jacks in. So if there's like 12 Jacks down there and you bounce the ball, you scoop up like 5 Jacks, and then you go to reach for the ball as it's falling out of the sky and you miss the ball, you got to put them Jacks back.
It's like one of those games that was in Squid Game. But for anyone who's watched that show knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But no, I've never played Jacks.
If we were in Squid Games and they had Jacks as one of the things and we were like in a team, I would volunteer. I would sign up to do that. I was cold with it.
Were you good at Foursquare?
Foursquare, I was nice too. Come on, dog.
Okay.
It's easy money. What you mean, man?
Do you think Steve Kerr is happy that Jimmy Butler's like kind of doing all this non-basketball stuff when he has a game tonight?
When you're dealing with Jimmy Butler, you're just happy that he's like locked in and wanting to play. He's focused during the regular season.
This is honeymoon mode, dude. I'm telling you.
There is no game greater on the regular season schedule in Jimmy's mind than this one tonight since he's suited up with the Golden State Warriors. They are now, 16-3 since Jimmy has since the trade happened back on February 5th with Jimmy in the lineup. The Heat in that same time span, 5-17. So it's clear that the Warriors won this deal, both short and I'm sure long-term too, because even the pieces that the Heat got back in this, it doesn't feel like it's going to be any kind of building blocks to a dynasty, more so just adequate return for a guy that did not want to show up and play in your uniform anyway. But I want to focus on specifically tonight and specifically the enigma that is Jimmy Buckets. I'm curious, C-Cat, because from what we've seen through his career, from Chicago Bulls to the Minnesota Timberwolves to the Philadelphia Sixers, the Miami Heat, and now the Golden State Warriors, Jimmy's on his 5th stop. I'm curious if, like I talk about with Aaron Rodgers all the time, if the juice is worth the squeeze. If you are an NBA owner, if you own and operate a franchise, maybe if you're a coach, if you're a general manager, if you're in the decision-making chair for an NBA team today, would you want Jimmy Butler in your locker room? Not talking about at what cost. I'm talking about even Jimmy at his current age and his current abilities, contract aside. Would you want that personality, that guy who you can get him in a way that feels like, oh my gosh, yeah, we have this new bubbling energy because he's so contentious and mad about his past stop. But just like we've seen at every destination Jimmy Butler has been at, he has also left in a literally like just a and a demolition, right? The Timberwolves one was highly publicized with the Rachel Nichols interview, and it feels like every year we get a new detail from that story where he just ran the T-Wolves starting lineup with the backups and then ran literally from practice to his home to do that interview. Like, we feel the nuggets from that story never get old. You saw how he felt about the Sixers' departure and how much jaw-jacking he was doing coming off the court when they got a chance to play the Sixers again, about how the Philadelphia decided to choose Tobias Harris, paying him over retaining the talents of Jimmy Butler. I'm curious what Jimmy does tonight, but also I will say this. Miami Heat might not have liked the way it ended. It was totally worth the deal that they made back in 2019 to bring Jimmy Butler down there to Biscayne Boulevard. And I would dare say for the Golden State Warriors and maybe whatever team that acquires Jimmy Butler next, trust me. Trust and believe you are going to enjoy your full time with Jimmy. You might not like the way that he leaves. And at this point in his career, I mean, the way he leaves next, likely retirement, right?
Right.
It's not too many more like, oh, trade me, re-sign me type things. At this point, it's, do I have another season of basketball left in me? And if that answer is no, the franchise that does get him next, if it's not just him retiring out with the Warriors, should be extremely happy. If I'm running an organization, I want 15 guys like Jimmy Butler, maybe not all with the same mouthpiece as his, but definitely with that mentality.
But aren't we kicking the can down the road? Because eventually, whatever team does have Jimmy Butler will probably give up on Jimmy Butler before Jimmy Butler gives up on the dream of still being an NBA star.
Right.
So, we're going to have that confrontation eventually, because we know how much self-confidence Jimmy Butler has, and we know how much of a business these organizations are, specifically the Warriors. Like, they've got all their fill of sentimental guys who they might give an extra year, and they probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Like, Steph will probably get more than he will actually be worth later on. He probably won't be producing at the amount of money he's making.
You think
later.
He's going to get like the Kobe contract, like what Kobe Bryant got with the Lakers, when we all knew he was pretty much cooked, but they wanted to give him the legacy deal on the way out the door to show people how they treat their own stars.
And he certainly earned it with that organization to get paid more than he's worth later on in his career. So the Warriors are not going to give him a deal like that, and a deal like that is probably the only way Jimmy Butler's going to be satisfied at the very tail end of his career, because we're already in the middle of the tail end.
So Jimmy Butler's 35 years old. And to provide context to that, that's the same age as Draymond Green. It's actually 2 years younger than Steph Curry, who's 37 right now. And it's funny because the way I see it, if I had to project this out, I do believe that not just Steph and Draymond, but also Jimmy Butler all retire Warriors. I think that they line their careers up in a way that even if they're not, I'm not saying they're going to go out with a championship. I do think they're going to give themselves multiple bites at that apple, including this year. I mean, look at what they've done so far, and look at what we know about Jimmy Butler's game, not just when he joins a new team, but also how he upticks in the playoffs. They are 16-3. They have been climbing up the charts in the Western Conference. Right now, they are the 6th seed, but they're only 2 games back of actually having home court advantage in the first round. They are like a definitive good basketball team, both offensively and defensively, when Steph Curry is available. And I'm not sure if we got the full report yet on if he will be available tonight. He has been laboring an injury. I believe he sat out their last game against the Hawks. That team at full strength is going to be a problem for pretty much anybody in the Western Conference not named the Denver Nuggets.
Take issue with that, because you're already counting these chickens as if this is a resounding success.
Yeah.
If the Warriors get bounced in the first round of the Lakers, which is a very real and possible possibility, are we talking about this walking into the sunset, end of Greece finality of these guys' careers? No. There's already going to be dissension.
They're not going to move him. They just signed him to an extension, a 2-year extension, $111 million.
Yes, but it's not going to be kumbaya. Like, these guys have been together for, a month and a half now, and you're already lining up each and every one of their careers to end at the same time?
So the reason I do that is because there also is, just like we talked with Aaron Rodgers and why we do believe maybe there's a little bit left in that. Maybe there is a bit of humility that comes with his age and the past couple of years in New York. I do believe at 35 years old, Jimmy does understand this is likely his last destination and his last chance to fight for a championship. Also, there's not many other teams in the NBA that could actually withstand the personality that is Jimmy Butler. I think there's really only two organizations left that prove they could. And it's the two that we see in the jersey right now on our ESPN West Palm YouTube stream right now. If you're watching us at ESPN West Palm or on Twitter at ESPN West Palm as well. Jimmy Butler thrived in a Miami Heat uniform. The only reason why this relationship went sour is because Pat Riley failed to build the right contending team around him to make the most out of what Jimmy could be, but also didn't believe that extending him would create a chance to drop another banner at Kaseya Center. So it made sense for both sides to part ways. They should have done it in a more cohesive way. But it's Pat Riley and Jimmy Butler. Damn it, there's going to be a little bit of tension. But also, the Golden State Warriors are the perfect fit right now for what Jimmy Butler brings. They know how to withstand a personality that is probably more demonstrative, if you can even get to that, with Draymond Green. But also, Jimmy Butler today is a better player than what Draymond is, and it'll be a lot easier to put up with some of the fight back, some of the bickering you'll get out of him, because even at Draymond's worst and even at Jimmy's worst, the one thing that they both have in common, they just want to win.
Sure.
They just want to win. And if they're able to get a shot at winning, and if they're able to help propel each other to that goal, they're going to be perfectly fine. If they feel like there's somebody in that locker room or on that court that is holding them back from winning, that's when the problems start. And Steph Curry as well. I think that is really the North Star, obviously, of what the Warriors have going on. Steph Curry being that personality that can be the best player in the room, but also allow for those two guys to be the vocal leaders and to help set the tone. I just think it is the perfect match and a great way for them to all go out. They're a little old. They're a little longer in the tooth than I think we all assume. Like, remember the big three Celtics? They were really old, right?
Yeah.
Young, early 30s, like 30, 31, 32. These dudes are 35, 35, and 37. I know that players are extending their careers longer than they have in the past, but they probably only got 2 or 3 more years to actually make this thing shake. And I think Jimmy realizes that. I think Draymond definitely realizes that. And Steph Curry is, again, he's the straw that stirs it all up. I believe this is actually we should be taking them more seriously than we have. And tonight at Kaseya Center, I think Jimmy is going to make sure that the Heat are reminded that, yeah, maybe you should have paid me.
Have you looked at Hard Rock Bet yet and see what his player props are at right now? Because I got to imagine they're a little bit inflated because of the narratives. The NBA is a narrative-pushed league. It's the storylines that get you to the television. It's not the action that you actually see during regular season basketball.
Right. And I think every league obviously is driven by certain narratives here and there, right? But the NBA even more so because the regular season is 82 games, and it is disingenuous to act as if players don't wake up a little bit more for one game than the other. So while we look, I'm going to look up his prop bets to see what Jimmy Butler is projected at. Before we get to those actual numbers, how about hear it from one of his teammates himself, Draymond Green, who has had a unbreakable connection with Jimmy since they have joined forces here. Apparently, he's his new Domino's partner. They go back and forth at it all the time on the team planes. They share their thoughts with each other a lot. One of the lines in the story said they stay up into the wee hours of the night playing dominoes, playing a little bones. So Draymond has some insight into what Jimmy's thinking. Here's what he believes is going to happen tonight as the Heat take on the Warriors.
Locked in.
There's two different types of people that deal with situations like this. Mm-hmm. There's the person that doesn't say anything, and you know it means a lot to them, but they just don't say anything. And then there's the person that's like, I'm going in there like this. And the reality is we all know Jimmy's mentality. He's going to be on 10. What I'm excited to see is he going to be the guy that lets everybody else know us around him he on 10? Or is he just going to walk in there on 10 and everybody fall in line? None.
That's the question, right? We know he's going to go after it. The difference with Jimmy Butler and a lot of other guys is they would be like, I'm trying to drop 40.
Right, give me the ball.
Yeah, like give me the ball, get out of my way. Jimmy might have his moments in that, but I can tell you this thing for sure. Number one, his number one priority is not to show up the Heat, not to drop 50 on their heads or whatnot. He got to make sure he walks out of that arena with a win. That's number one. Number two, I can promise you this. That dude is going to be going balls to the wall. Whether it's a situation where the Heat decide to trap him and force him to pass it out, or if it's a situation where they're trying to deny him the ball, and he's probably going to get some putback dunks here and there. He's going to be leaking out in transition. He's going to get some big-time steals. Like, I looked at the Hard Rock Bet numbers, and again, that was Draymond Green on the Draymond Green Show with Baron Davis describing what that mentality is like for a revenge game. They got his points right now, the points prop, 21.5. And he's averaging like 18 a game this year, so that is a little high. I don't think I would touch 21.5. I wouldn't touch his points total. What I would do is one of two things. Number one, I would look at the thing right here. I love this one, Hard Rock Bet, to record 30-plus points. Because then you can get better odds on it, because I don't think Jimmy's just going to drop. If he's going to go for a scoring night, he's not just dropping 22, 23. He's going to have a ball. He's plus 400 to record 30 points.
Turn $10 into $50, just like that.
$10 into $50 for Jimmy Butler to drop 30, which I get it. He's not a high-octane scorer. It would help paint a picture for me, a better picture, if we knew whether or not Steph Curry was playing. And also, Jimmy hasn't dropped 30, C-Cat, since
Still
December
scrolling.
16th in an overtime game against the Pistons with the Heat. He hasn't dropped 30 since he had 35 against the Pistons on December 16th.
But again, it doesn't just follow that whole time-honored tale about the NBA, where the fans don't care because the players don't care in the regular season. And in this specific instance, like it was with Luka playing the Mavericks for the first time, even though it wasn't in Dallas, Luka had a reason to care a little bit more because he was slighted from that organization. He put up a triple-double. Jimmy Butler is going to care a little bit more tonight than he would against a meaningless Kings game on Wednesday of next week. So he has more motivation to put up 30.
Yeah, I'm looking at the triple-double. The problem is the problem with the triple-double is more so the assist than it is the rebounds. I think he can get there with the rebounds. I'm not sure if he gets there with the assist unless Steph Curry plays. Like, I wouldn't touch anything on his assist numbers if Curry is out. I'm curious, man. I'm curious. Look at his last game against the Hawks, right? They just lost this one on Saturday. He dropped 25, had 8 assists and 4 rebounds. He's had a few days rest here. He's been in Miami since Sunday, so he's not just coming fresh off travel. This is going to be fresh legs Jimmy Butler with revenge on his mind. Hey, one thing for sure, the Heat ain't walking out of there with a win. Jimmy and Draymond and Steph Curry included, who likely is going to play on behalf of his brother to make sure they get a dub in there. I believe they do get it done. I think the line is, 5.5 in favor of the Warriors. I believe they do get it done, and they also likely cover with as bad as the Heat have been as of late. The question really is, just how much is he going to try and pour it on? I want to know too, for the Heat's tribute video, how much of a sentimental moment would that be for Jimmy, or is it going to be a thing where he tries to just zone it out and kind of play super duper ego and monotone? I'm cool on it. I'm intrigued by what's going to happen tonight, man. I haven't looked forward to an NBA regular season game like this in a while, and it helps that we are also in the absence in between the Sweet 16 and the round of 32. What's this in the?
Well, we also don't know whether or not the Heat fans are going to boo or cheer. I think you're going to get boos.
Oh
it's a whole lot easier to boo a guy who used to be in uniform and had a messy, ugly exit. Because we see really prized players who become free agents get booed when they leave the team.
Okay.
Just because someone else paid more. This was not that. This was an organization that had Jimmy Butler locked down this year and next year, and he just decided to not play basketball anymore, using injuries that were phantom as an excuse.
Should Miami Heat fans boo Jimmy Butler tonight at Kaseya Center? Should they heckle him or praise him for his 5.5 years in a Heat uniform, which were, again, some of the best years we've seen in the past 2 decades, outside of the Big Three, probably the best run? 888-760-3776, 888-760-3776. Should Heat fans boo Jimmy Butler? I know if I was in attendance tonight, I certainly wouldn't. But you let me know what you would do. 888-760-3776. 888-760-3776. Hit us up on the Baptist Health Hotline. Why are you laughing?
This guy's got you smiling, dude. You love Jimmy Butler.
Yes. How can you not love Jimmy,
Is he on your payroll or something?
What? Did you not watch the past 5.5 years and the excitement that he provided in the time that we thought we would be in the valley, but we were rose to the mountaintops? That was all because of his belief, his play, and his effort. I love Jimmy.
Yeah, I also listened to one of my favorite radio hosts, Theo Dorsey, talk about how you exit matters.
Yes.
And how you finish matters, and how he finished with Heat fans and Heat in general. It certainly tarnishes a lot of what he did because he never actually accomplished that ultimate goal.
I watched the Heat boot D-Wade out the door. I watched the Heat let LeBron James walk out on a jet. Jimmy ain't even give that to what they gave to the Heat. He didn't even do that for them. So I'm not surprised that he and Pat Riley had an ugly exit. So I'm not mad at him for the way that he did that. That's the way I expected it. It wasn't a surprise. It wasn't a shock. 888-760-3776. Should Heat fans boo Jimmy Butler tonight? Let us know on the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain and need to see an expert in the field? Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. Truth of the matter is the Heat were never going to win a title with Jimmy in uniform. They had probably lost out on that window. The window was closed. I'm glad to see him fighting along with a contender. I wish the departure was prettier. I also wish the return was better for the Miami Heat. But that's all in the rear view. And I'm not going to sit here and be all sour grapes about something that is, was really high points. One of my buddies, DJ Bieniemy, he actually is the Houston Texans reporter for NFL Nation for ESPN, covers the Texans now. He and I, both Heat fans. He's a South Florida native. Literally this morning, he just randomly shot me a text of he and I, like joyously, like high-fiving in the middle of a bar and like looking like we're having the time of our lives. And I text him back. I'm like, oh, my God, bro. Like, that was the last time that our Miami Heat made us smile. It was Game 7, Eastern Conference Finals, Heat Celtics. I was in Houston. We was kicking it. I'll never forget that day. We was so lit. I made a TikTok that night. I made a TikTok.
That's when the Heat blew a 3-0 lead to tie it up for the Celtics, but they actually won Game 7.
Yes, they blew the 3-0 lead. They won Game 7. That was the thing. Jason Tatum, sprained ankle first quarter, whatever. They have their excuses. I was so joyous. I'm in a good mood and I have good vibes going when I make a TikTok.
Oh, of course. You've lost all control of your faculties.
All my inhibitions are gone. Let's make a TikTok. That's how excited I was. That was the last time I was happy. So thank you, Jimmy Butler. I would never boo you. On the other side, we bring in Mike Tannenbaum, former NFL GM, currently a mock drafter. A mock drafter. He has a new mock draft he released today, and they were a month out from the NFL draft. We break that down with him, and maybe we ask him the question as well. Would he boo Jimmy Butler? I'd say he's a fair-minded guy. He's likely going to say no. We'll see. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey, theoretically speaking, on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today. Don't miss out on this incredible course. And please, putt responsibly.
ESPN 106.3 is your home for live sports presented by Hard Rock Bet. Home of the Miami Heat, now the new home of Inter Miami. Catch all the games and the biggest matchups throughout the week right here on ESPN 106.3. Hard Rock Bet, it's Florida's official sportsbook. Try Hard Rock Bet now and receive up to $100 back in bonus bets if your first bet does not win. Hard Rock Bet, roll with us. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2025 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2025 Defender 110 P300S for just $889 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
It's an exciting UFC fight night this weekend as the number 2 ranked flyweight Brandon Moreno takes on Steve Erceg. Moreno will be the clear favorite in the building, not just because of his number 2 ranking in the flyweight class, but also because he is a part of the UFC's official return to Mexico City. Moreno fights out of Mexico, so expect him to have the crowd in his corner all night long. Erceg is a strong fighter fighting out of Australia, and based on the matchup, Saturday night's fight should be a battle for the ages. Twin Peaks is your ultimate UFC headquarters for all the big pay-per-view cards and every fight in between. Enjoy an ice-cold 29-degree draft beer and made-from-scratch favorites from the kitchen as you watch all of the fights on one of the big-screen HD TVs. With Twin Peaks as your fight night headquarters, there's never a bad seat in the house, and you get to enjoy all of the fights without a cover. Twin Peaks is your go-to for eats, drinks, and scenic views.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm. If you own a timeshare, don't miss this public service announcement from Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group.
If you receive an unsolicited phone call or mail piece to discuss selling, renting, or especially canceling your timeshare, don't fall for it. If you really want out of your timeshare, hang the phone up immediately or throw that mail piece in the trash and contact your timeshare resort or Wesley Financial Group for assistance with your timeshare. As the only Inc. 500 timeshare cancellation company, our knowledge, experience, and results has made Wesley a trusted resource for over 40,000 families we've helped get out of their timeshare. Give us a call, and I'll send you our timeshare exit information kit free with the straight facts about your timeshare and all of your options for cancellation.
Call for your free info kit, 800-895-1414. That's 800-895-1414. 800-895-1414.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
If you buy your tickets, you get a BOGO without doing any work. If New York wins match 1, Atlanta won last night, match 1, match 2 is at 7, and if possible, match 3 at 9.
PGL, we're going to be enjoying what is going to be an electric night of golf. One man who has been enjoying a great amount of draft analysis and deep dives has been our guy who focuses on the NFL and the NFL draft right now, Mike Tannenbaum, former NFL GM, ESPN NFL insider, making his weekly appearance here on Theoretically Speaking. Mike, you dropped the mock draft, man. Like, what do you do once you drop a mock draft? Do you just like take a nap and turn your notifications off? Like, what's the process right afterwards?
Yeah, it's relieved. I've said this before. It's a heck of a lot easier to run an actual draft than to do a mock draft. You turn one in, go up a couple of thousand calories of a snack and then wait to turn again. This is like you have no rest for the weary. But it's a great opportunity. I really enjoy it, and hopefully people are engaging with the content today.
The reason why I love your mock draft, and again, not to say that I'll just like it better than others because I'll have you here on the phone, but I like the process that you go through with it because when you see most of the other analysts and insiders do it, it's a projection of what their sources are saying teams are leaning towards. But you, who have actually sat in these GM chairs and directed drafts, you put yourselves in the shoes of each of the NFL's GMs and you make the picks yourself. So you're saying, this isn't what I think will happen, but this is what I would do if I had each of these picks. For you, which team or GM's shoes was it hardest to put yourself in the situation of? Like, which one of these 32 picks was the toughest for Mike T?
Yeah, great question. Maybe we'll start with the Giants. Like Mike Shedeur Sanders, I think he's going to be a really good quarterback. I don't know if he's a great quarterback, but you're sitting there at 3, and if you don't take him, who's playing quarterback on opening day? Like, is it going to be Jameis Winston? So right at the top, I thought it was very hard to try to put the whole thing together.
Yep, I see the Shedeur pick that you have at 3, which means that, well, when people hear that, they're like, well, what happened with the Browns? You have Travis Hunter, West Palm native, and the two-way corner / wide receiver out of Colorado. You have him going to the Cleveland Browns. And there's a lot of Browns fans that want Shedeur. There's some that want Abdul Carter. I haven't seen as much Travis Hunter hype at number 2. What's your inclination there?
I think for him, he plays 115 snaps a game, guys. And in this day and age of load management and scaling back, he's doing more. So I'm just so impressed by him. I think you play him at corner, he could be the best corner in the league, and then give him 15, 20 snaps, third down red zone, and you got a great player who could really impact the game on both sides.
One of the more intriguing picks, and this won't interest maybe the mass audience here because it's number 1, it's the Arizona Cardinals, and number 2, it's wide receiver Matthew Golden out of Texas, who is not like a big name even out of college football for the casual fan, but I thought the Cardinals were solid at wide receiver with having Marvin Harrison Jr. and even Michael Wilson, and they got Trey McBride as weapons and options. You think there's a chance that they're actually looking at a receiver at 16 to add to the weaponry for Kyler Murray?
Yeah, I like Golden a lot. I think he has a chance to be a really good player. I thought he played to his time speed, and I think he has a chance to be really a frontline difference maker. Played 2 years at the University of Houston, and I think he's a great fit, go opposite Marvin Harrison.
Mike Tannenbaum joining us here on a Tuesday here on Theoretically Speaking, former GM and also now with his first mock draft of the season, 1 month out from the actual NFL draft starting. Mike T, when you were a GM, did you like seeing the mock drafts out there when people got your pick wrong, or did you hate the fact that people were trying to project what you were doing in your chair?
Yeah, I just think it's, one of those things where you want to collect as much information. And it was never any one mock draft, but you were looking for patterns of information to the extent you can do that. And say okay, within reason, we think, these 4 or 5 players will be there.
Did you ever smokescreen a reporter? Did you make them believe that you were going after one guy so that you can throw the scent off a little bit?
Yeah, I wasn't a big believer in that. Maybe not call some people back from time to time, but I never felt right. Just meaningfully leading somebody down the wrong path. I don't know, felt like there was a better way to do things.
Right. You've always been genuine with us here, including when CCAT had the bright idea of Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings. You shut it down instantly, and there you go. You were trying to protect CCAT. You were trying to protect him.
Brutal.
Now his feelings are hurt all over again. Sorry, CCAT.
Yeah, he did. I thought that came out of nowhere. I had no idea that was coming.
I mean, I'm sorry. It lobbed itself up to me. But one thing that you have, Mike T, that we feel like we see in every mock draft today, number 1 overall pick, Tennessee Titans, Cam Ward. Are you already locking this thing in? Does that feel just right, especially coming off of that pro day?
Yeah, I think, everything they've done leads us to believe that, hey, this is the direction they want to go. They signed Dan Moore. They signed Kevin Zeitler. They haven't addressed the quarterback position. I'd be very, very surprised if it wasn't Cam Ward at the end of the day.
And Mike, when you see a player choose to throw at their pro day and not at the combine, what does that tell scouts and NFL GMs?
Yeah, that's certainly a trend now. You're just seeing that more and more where these top players, Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels from a year ago. But to me, you have nothing to hide, so why not, compete? Jackson Dart did. I thought he really helped himself. Drake May did a year ago. So I'm a little bit old school that way. Like, hey, you got nothing high, go ahead and compete. But, these top guys just aren't doing that.
You have, in your draft, Cam Ward, number 1 to the Titans. You have second quarterback coming off the board, Shedeur Sanders to the Giants, which I absolutely love that one as well. And then you got to wait all the way until 26. Most people don't even know who is picking 26th. It's the Los Angeles Rams. That's where you have Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart going. What did you specifically see out of his pro day that you think would intrigue Sean McVay? And do you see this being like a potential for them to spend the first-round pick on the heir apparent to Matthew Stafford instead of trying to get him a building block that can help him maybe contend for the playoffs this year?
Well, you have a really good team, really good nucleus, and I think if we were running the Rams, we would know that Stafford is year to year. So why not, try to get his successor? They tried with Stetson Bennett, that didn't work. And to me, I would certainly, if I have a chance to get a good young quarterback with a lot of upside, I'm going to take that shot.
Do you believe in, just to pivot a little bit off of the NFL and the draft style, do you believe in revenge games in professional sports? Because we got Jimmy Butler coming back to Miami with the Warriors tonight to play at Kaseya Center. First time since he was dealt on February 5th. There's a lot of animosity between the organization and Jimmy. There's also a lot of just pure competition and grit between that guy and those Warriors and this Heat team. Like, how much do you believe in the narratives around revenge games?
Yeah, publicly everyone's going to say the right thing, but Spoelstra and Riley, they'll want nothing more than to beat him. And, Jimmy Butler, I'll tell you what, Golden State's an interesting team, with Draymond, Steph. They get into a short series of the playoffs, no one's going to want to play them. And, this is just one game, but I think Golden State's an interesting team to watch in the playoffs. I
absolutely agree with you. I just was talking about that, how they've been 16-3 with Jimmy in the lineup since that deal, and they're just starting to learn and grow together and learn how to play with each other. Mike T, if you were operating an NBA franchise, given what you know about Jimmy Butler, what he's done at each of his stops, both the peaks and the valleys, is he a guy that's worth the squeeze? Is that a guy you would want in your locker room?
Absolutely. Look, it didn't end well, and a lot of times we see in sports things don't end well for whatever reason. But he's a great player, especially around playoff time. So I thought that was a really good trade for Golden State.
That's spot on, man. That's the same way I feel. I feel like every franchise has played better, has done better with him on the roster, and it only seems to be bad when it's time to break up. So hopefully it's just good basketball tonight. I'm rooting for a Heat loss because I do want us to get better lottery odds. Hopefully, let's see if the Raptors can catch us. But also, I just want to see if Jimmy just goes balls to the wall, man. It's going to be a fun night. Enjoy watching it, and also enjoy the. Last thing though, have you been getting slander? Have you been getting hate for the mock draft, or are people liking it? What's your feel for that?
I don't really check too often, so you guys may know better than me.
So far, so good. I like the explainer in there saying that it's what you would do anyways, and the fact that you picked my guy Cam Ward going number 1 overall, I give it an A++. So I appreciate that, Mike T.
All right. Sounds great, guys.
Mike Tannenbaum, thanks for the time. His appearances here on Theoretically Speaking, always brought to you by Eisner Amper. And again, C-Cat, I'll say it once. I've said it a million times. The only thing that can make me feel good about the way that the Miami Hurricanes football season ended, since there was no Heisman Trophy lifted up, there was not even an appearance in the ACC title game. The 2 losses on the back end versus Georgia Tech and Syracuse deaded those opportunities. If we can just get the number 1 overall pick, Cam Ward can be the number 1 overall pick. That's something to hang my hat on. That's something to make me feel like this was a season that will bring back some kind of results, man.
And also have a ripple effect. What if maybe we're talking about the same topic next year with Carson Beck number 1 overall? Does that really get you going?
I hate you. See, here's the thing. I'm going to start buying into the hype. Not yet.
Exactly. We're not there yet.
Yeah, no. Not yet. But also, maybe this could be a Carson Beck revenge year because he broke up with his girl.
When's that spring game? That's might when the tide turns in terms of Kane's optimism at the quarterback position.
Oh, man, don't get me started. Because that's the thing. I want to have hope. I want to be happy. I feel like, again, the Miami Hurricanes are the Cowboys of college football. So we're very susceptible to get caught up in the hype. But, instead of me getting caught up in maybe false hope and false hype, what if I just tapped in with the folks that provide real results that actually help every time?
Taught me what reverse osmosis actually means.
Yes, you learn in science class early on. You learn what osmosis is, and that is
No, yeah, tell me.
No. Osmosis is when the transition of like cells, when water spreads to each other, the way that water separates and spreads and combines.
Yeah.
The molecules, water molecules. We'll look it up. But we do know that reverse osmosis is the process in which Culligan uses to purify your water, to make water that is not healthy to drink perfectly fine to drink. In fact, it'll taste better than you ever thought your water in your home could taste. And if you don't believe me, Culligan.com. Go to Culligan.com today. I have done it. I have a reverse osmosis system. Yeah, sure, I can't give you the perfect definition. I mean, what? Science class was a long time ago when my guy Tim pulled up for the free water test. He didn't like show me the Webster's dictionary, but what he did do was he gave me a taste test of Culligan water versus the water that came out of my faucet. That was enough. Didn't need a definition. I said, all right, Tim, I get you. I got you. What else did I get? I also got the water softener because I've had this issue where I have these glass shower doors. It gets so dirty. It gets so extremely dirty. I could never clean off that grime and that muck right. He told me, those are the minerals left off of your hard water. You get softened water, you won't have that issue. You won't have that issue. I said, man, I was wondering what the heck was going on with that. Same thing with your clothes that you're washing in your washing machines. You have hard water and you're washing your clothes with that. That can affect not just your machine's health, but your clothes' health in a certain way. How about your water heater? That heating element, the materials and minerals that are in the water, especially Florida's water, which is incredibly bad. If you don't believe me, look it up. If you don't believe me, Culligan.com, have them test your water and they'll show you exactly what's living in it. Yeah, that stuff, it builds up on your heating element in your water heater. Now the life of that thing is going to go down. These are all of the issues you can help circumvent by tapping in with Culligan, just saying,
Hey, Culligan man!
Or going to Culligan.com. They've been helping the local community since 1936. Let Culligan help you. Culligan.com. Tap in, get a free water test today. On the other side, we have the Get Around here, C-Cat, and also in the happy hour today, I'm excited because we'll get an update on our March Madness draft. Before the men's bracket started, C-Cat, you, me, and Tina, we all drafted 4 teams who will be eventually crowned champions. Only one of us has all 4 of their teams still remaining, and it was the one that just cheated and went to Hard Rock Bet and just sorted by best odds. I was lame. So we'll show y'all where we stand in that and more on the other side. That's C-Cat. I'm Theo Dorsey. It wasn't me that cheated. We're theoretically speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Duffy Sports Grill isn't done celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Celebrate the taste of Ireland now through April 7th. Indulge in Duffy's favorites like thinly sliced certified Angus corned beef and the Reuben Burger on a half-pound certified Angus patty. And raise a glass with Irish favorites like the Jameson Green Tea Shot, Creamsicle Martini, and Jameson Black Barrel Old Fashioned. Taste of Ireland now through April 7th at your nearest Duffy's. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Welcome to TGL, presented by SoFi. It's sharp, it's electric. 2 hours of hammer dropping, overtime forcing, championships on the line golf. Tonight, the inaugural season champion will be crowned. New York Golf Club versus the Atlanta Drive. Matt Fitzpatrick, Ricky Fowler, Xander Schauffele, Cameron Young, taking on Justin Thomas, Patrick Cantlay, Billy Horschel, Lucas Glover. The playoff action continues tonight at 7. Limited tickets are still available. Visit TGLGolf.com to claim your greenside seat.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Embark on a culinary road trip through South Florida at the 2025 Orange Bowl Food and Wine Celebration, presented by Florida Blue. An evening of foodie fun awaits on Friday, April 11th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, with unlimited food and drink tastings from over 40 of South Florida's top restaurants and chefs, and dance the night away with the live band and DJ. Tickets start at just $125, and proceeds benefit Orange Bowl Care's community initiatives. Get your tickets at orangebowl.org.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121, or visit tworld.com today.
Hey, ref, time out, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Wait, no, not that water. That's full of contaminants and pharmaceuticals. You need Culligan water. With their free water test and reverse osmosis purification system, you'll have clean, refreshing water just like a slam dunk. Schedule your free consultation today at Culligan.com. Culligan, your partner for better water.
Hey, Culligan man! So let it rip.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
Ready to take a trip, T-Cat?
Let's do it.
Let's not waste any time. Let's hop right on our favorite vehicle to hit the major sports headlines from all across the globe. It is the Get Around.
I get around. What you mean you don't know? Round and round. Check go. I get around.
The Get Around, baby. And it is brought to you today courtesy of Live Golf Miami. Where we going first?
Next stop.
Our first stop of the Get Around brings us to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where Steelers defensive captain Cameron Hayward said the Steelers are, quote, in a state of urgency on the Rich Eisen show. Are the Steelers the most urgent team in the NFL in 2025?
They should be, given the age of their roster, given the drought that they've been in. Haven't won a playoff game, I believe, since 2016. And they continue to show up time after time in the postseason because that's what Mike Tomlin is, the model of consistency, but just consistently above average is what the Steelers have been. Quarterback play could elevate that. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is that difference maker. I believe you just bring back Russell Wilson. You hope that the offense you've built around him, you combine that with the continuity, and you hope that you get a full offseason, no calf issues ahead of the year, and you roll with the punches. Aaron Rodgers would inject a level of volatility and futility based off what I've seen the past couple of years that would not benefit the Steelers.
Yeah, we've had experienced 4 different presidencies the last time the Steelers won a playoff game. Tail end of Obama, the last 3 days.
Wow.
All of Trump's first term, all of Biden's term, and so far all of Trump's second term. It's been a long time since we've seen a playoff win for the Steelers, and they're kind of getting used to it. And that's kind of scary if you're a Steelers fan.
That is weird, right?
It's not like these playoffs are missing something with the Steelers being one and done, 6 consecutive postseason losses.
I'm curious for Tomlin himself if this year they still don't win a playoff game, which is very likely in that tough AFC. Even if you make it, it's hard to win in the AFC. If they lose again, does he finally feel like it's time for a scenery change? Like, does he finally get fed up with it and sick of the fact that they are not able to fix the number one position in all of sports? I can't even hold this to Mike Tomlin like it's all his fault. I see Najee Harris kind of complaining on the way out the door. I see Cam Hayward getting more vocal than we've ever seen him. I don't know if Mike Tomlin is like the one to blame for them not having quarterback success because the quarterback talent hasn't been there. Who's really pulling the trigger and making those decisions? That's who needs to be held to the fire.
When the Steelers were eliminated from the playoffs in the wild card round against the Ravens just last season, all of the conversation on Monday after that, I believe that was a Saturday game too, but everyone wanted to talk about how this feels like a clean breakup. Like the Steelers are okay. Maybe they're afraid of what the future holds if it's not Mike Tomlin. But wouldn't it benefit Mike Tomlin to try somewhere else? Not that it's his fault. That maybe they have kind of sunsetted that relationship and exhausted all efforts and have reached the ceiling.
I'll tell you one thing. I'm a Chiefs fan. Andy Reid, I don't know how many more years he has as the head coach of the Chiefs. I don't know how long he wants to stay in that position. But if Tomlin wants to hold off to be the heir apparent once Andy Reid retires, I would not complain.
Hey, we're kind of seeing it unfold right before our eyes right now in college basketball. The one coach who had some success early on, known as a good coach, John Calipari with Kentucky.
Yeah.
He was there for a long time, and he underperformed there in the tournament for a long time before his eventual exit from Big Blue. Change of scenery, goes to Arkansas, and they're still in the Sweet 16.
And both are better for it because Kentucky's back with Mark Pope, who I openly criticized the day after they hired him, and look at those Wildcats dancing again.
Yeah, we quickly kind of moved on from that, or the Steelers dismissed as to Tomlin the possibility of a change of scenery for Tomlin, a different direction for the Steelers. But maybe we shouldn't have moved on from that topic as quickly as we did.
Definitely not.
Next stop.
We are going to Miami Gardens, Florida.
Were you about to go Miami?
Miami.
Welcome to my Vinos Vitos. Miami.
Because we're going to talk about Miami Dolphins' new backup quarterback, Zach Wilson, who claims he will not be a career journeyman. He said, quote, "I still believe I can be a starter in this league whenever that opportunity comes."
Wow. Oh, that is... Is he preying on Tua's downfall? Why does that quote sound so ominous? This is the same guy that said, if the Jets bring a veteran in here to compete with me, I'm going to whoop their tail. What did he say? I'm going to give them hell. I'm going to give them hell. And then that veteran ended up being Aaron Rodgers, and he like literally laid down and bowed to the altar of him. So
Zach Wilson is saying, I trust that we have a lot of hard-hitting, strong safeties in this AFC East that will give me an opportunity to be the starting quarterback of the Dolphins.
I don't even think you need a hard-hitting safety when you have Tua head-butting guys. Like Tua literally going head first into guys on a scramble. So Tua might do it to himself. Zach Wilson's 25, 26 years old. He's on a one-year deal with the Dolphins. He picked Miami likely because he knows he has a chance to sub in and prove himself. The question is, what are you going to do in those games when you do get that opportunity? And if you do what we've seen you do in the years past, then no, you will not be a starter somewhere. You're likely going to be a career backup, and you better keep taking those checks while they're giving them out.
Next stop.
I bring you solace news from Spokane, Washington. I think solace is...
That's the wrong way to...
What word was I thinking of? Solemn?
Solemn, yeah, there you go, solemn.
Bad news.
Yes.
Unhappy news. Because USC's star women's basketball player, Juju Watkins, suffered a season-ending injury in the NCAA tournament. The details are not public quite yet
ACL
from the
tear.
Trojans. Oh, it is?
ACL tear. So she's getting a surgery on that ACL. When it first came out, we were confused. It was an ACL. It was an ACL tear. I'm not sure if there's more, right? They probably still have to do the MRI and figure out if there's other damage. She's done for the year. We'll see her next year. This is incredibly, and I hate to use the word crippling, but it is
damaging.
But so Juju Watkins, for those that have not been watching women's basketball in college since Caitlin Clark has left, Juju Watkins is considered to be like the Jordan of that sport now coming up. She's considered to be the best one. She was the best player in college this year, 24 points a game. She was dragging that USC women's basketball team through their play, through the Big Ten, and she was doing the same with them through the tournament. She's more important to the women's basketball tournament than Cooper Flagg is to the men's tournament. That's the easiest way to put it. She is the single most important person and player, not just to her team, but to that tournament. She was the best show in that sport, and it absolutely sucks for everybody involved, both USC and their competitors, that they don't get to go up against her or play alongside her. Another thing about Juju, she's just such a great presence. and such a fun personality. She's so locked in on the court. Like, she is, I can't wait to see her competing in Final Fours and in the national championship and then again in the WNBA. And again, we were robbed as sports fans to not be able to see that happen this year as well. USC, you want to know what happened to their title odds?
What's that? They were a 1 seed.
They were a 1 seed. Entering the tournament, they were plus 550 to win it all. With the news of Juju's injury, they are now plus 2,500. Wow. Like, that is about as stark of a difference as you're going to get. There's no one man in the NCAA men's tournament that you can pull from their roster and say the same thing. Duke won the damn ACC tournament without Cooper Flagg, and not that that league is strong this year, but it still says something. They were barely even challenged. This is incredibly bad, man. It sucks.
So, women's basketball right now in college, do players leave early? Like, was there an opportunity for her to go to the draft now?
No. Mostly you play all the way through because the WNBA salaries are not worthwhile for you to leave early for that contract. NIL is like quadrupling it, especially when you're the level of Juju. I believe there was one girl who left after her junior year, or at least considered it heavily. Technically, Caitlin Clark had a year of eligibility left.
Okay.
Because of the COVID thing and whatnot. But generally speaking, they do 4 years and go. And that's what you expect from Juju. So she'll have 2 more years at USC. And again, as things stand in the WNBA, with those current salaries, there's just literally no benefit. There's just no benefit to leaving. You can stay and play at USC where you're enjoying yourself, you're getting your degree. And if you're Juju, you're likely going to have a shot, 2 more stabs at competing for a national championship. This year for the Trojans, it's absolutely cooked.
Next
Sucks,
stop.
man.
We make it to Doral.
I didn't want to believe it.
Live Golf is returning to Miami April 4th to the 6th to battle it out on one of golf's toughest tasks. In fact, it's the hardest course in Florida. They're tackling the Blue Monster at Trump National Doral. All 54 players in Live Golf appear every single day. So if you buy a ticket on Friday, you're going to see the best. If you buy a ticket on Saturday, you're going to see the best. The same thing with Sunday. Yeah, you're getting this all-elite field complete with 14 major champions. Locals, Brooks Koepka, he's going to be there with Smash GC. Phil Mickelson, yeah, Lefty will be there. And Dustin Johnson with the 4 aces will be there as well. I'm a Crushers GC fan. You see me wear the hat here on Theoretically Speaking almost every day, led by U.S. Open champion Bryson DeChambeau. I saw him hoist the Live Golf Championship back in 2023. It's an incredible fan experience. If you consider yourself a party fan, you should go there. If you consider yourself a sports fan, you should go there. If you consider yourself a golf fan, I don't know how you don't have your tickets already. Buy your tickets now. livegolf.com/tickets. livegolf.com/tickets. They've got elevated ticket types. It's a cool one. They're famous for their party at the Birdie Shack. It's even better this year. Unlimited eats, drinks, and that classic Live Golf party atmosphere. And if you didn't know this, active duty military or veterans get free grounds passes for themselves and a guest. livegolf.com/tickets. livegolf.com/tickets.
The happy hour is next here on Theoretically Speaking. I didn't get a chance. I had one question for Mike T because I saw my Chiefs in his mock draft. He had them getting Nick Emanwari, the safety out of South Carolina that is just a physical beast. All the tools in the world that you can want. Like, I just wanted to poke his brain about that as a Chiefs fan, being selfish. I'll have to get to him on that next week. I'm excited. Happy hour on the other side. We got later on Howling with the Wolf, Cam Wolf, fresh off of Cam Ward's Pro Day. We're going to have to get just a barometer, a test from Cam on what he thinks Cam Ward was able to prove out there in Coral Gables. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. The happy hour's next. Tina is on the way. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WUUB Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Introducing the bold, the powerful, the all-new 2025 Range Rover Sport P360 SE. A luxury SUV that commands attention with its refined design, dynamic performance, and cutting-edge technology. Lease the 2025 Range Rover Sport for just $12.99 per month for 36 months. Drive in style, power, power, and comfort, all for just $12.99 a month. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and take the new Range Rover Sport for a spin. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Duffy Sports Grill isn't done celebrating St. Patrick's Day. Celebrate the taste of Ireland now through April 7th. Indulge in Duffy's favorites like thinly sliced certified Angus corned beef and the Reuben Burger on a half-pound certified Angus patty. And raise a glass with Irish favorites like the Jameson Green Tea Shot, Creamsicle Martini, and Jameson Black Barrel Old Fashioned. Taste of Ireland now through April 7th at your nearest Duffy's. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Oh, great. Just what I needed. More reasons to feel insecure. Have you seen the new ESPN 1063 billboards on I-95? Theoretically Speaking with Theo Dorsey and CCAT. Big smiles, looking all important. Russo and Rizzo with Colin and Mike, like they just solved world hunger. And me? No giant Evan Cohen face gazing down on traffic. Unbelievable. But hey, at least you can listen to us weekday mornings 6 to 10 on Unsportsmanlike along with Chris Canty and Michelle Smallman right here on ESPN 1063. Because let's be honest, a billboard couldn't contain this level of greatness.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today. Don't miss out on this incredible course. And please, putt responsibly.
Breaking news on ESPN 1063 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 1063 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 1063 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 1063 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Trans World Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
Hey, ref, time out, man. All right, team, we're only down by 5. We can still win this. Grab some water and get back out there. Wait, no, not that water. That's full of contaminants and pharmaceuticals. You need Culligan water. With their free water test and reverse osmosis purification system, you'll have clean, refreshing water just like a slam dunk. Schedule your free consultation today at Culligan.com. Culligan, your partner for better water.
Hey, Culligan
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio.
It's time for the Happy Hour with Tina.
Let's do this.
Presented by Live Golf Miami, April 4th through the 6th. Get your tickets at livegolf.com. Here's Theo Dorsey.
Good people.
Are we the club?
Is this a Tina takeover?
Whoa.
Is this a Tina takeover to theoretically speaking here in the happy hour? Is that what we have here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm
How do you
obsessed.
audibly fist pump? So I'm fist pumping in the
I don't
control
know
room.
how you. I mean, it's impossible to audibly. There you go.
That's it, exactly.
Literally, yeah, that's pretty good. C-Cat's on the other side of the glass on the ones and twos. I promise to you all, we are all sober. Though we are calling this the happy hour, and it sounds like we're at a rave. We are all sober and having a good time here. But Tina's bringing the vibes today. What's happening?
Wow. That was amazing.
Yeah.
I was told I had to be surprised by that.
I was surprised.
Yeah.
So at first because C-Cat told me, he was like, there's a new open to the happy hour, and I haven't heard it. And then I heard the regular open happening. I wondered if C-Cat hit the wrong button.
That's a reasonable assumption. I do not blame you for assuming that as well.
I was like, oh, dang, did he mispunch it? We'll have to see it tomorrow. And then all of a sudden, a little mix up there, a little curveball.
I almost want to hear it again. But
Is it possible to do again?
I guess so, but this is
lot.
really
I know it's a lot.
just to help each other. No, it's not hard to do. I'm saying that it doesn't serve our audience. It only serves us.
It's just for us.
Okay,
is it
we'll
not
wait till the break.
Okay, yeah.
Can we do it coming out of the next break too? Is what you're saying?
We'll do that.
That's
do that.
a good idea. Just today, just at opening day.
Yeah.
It's opening day. Opening day is different. Opening day in baseball is what, like 2 days away?
Uh-huh.
So, it's different rules. You play by different rules on opening day. Have we figured out if the Dodgers and Cubs are going to be calling it opening day?
It's a good question.
Have we figured that out?
They're not?
Well, they already opened in Tokyo like last week.
They have begun their season. The Dodgers are 2-0 and the Cubs are 0-2. And their games are played at night. So maybe that's the loophole because that's opening night, and then it's opening day on Thursday.
So I'm looking at DodgersNation.com right here. It says Dodgers announce opening day starter for home opener of 2025.
But it said opening day.
It said opening day.
So it is.
Here goes CBS Sports. Mookie Betts' availability for opening day unclear as Dodgers star reports serious weight loss during Tokyo trip. Oh, it got kind of serious.
Yeah, you didn't hear about that?
Yeah,
he lost
apparently he had to leave.
21 pounds in 2 weeks.
What is that? So he didn't like the food or he just got sick?
No, it's a virus that was going around the locker room. Yeah,
21
pounds in 2 weeks.
Oh, I know what was happening to him. That means it was both exits.
You
That's
think?
Not a good vibe. Yeah, I've had that.
That's a lot.
I used to be, my playing weight was like 180, 185, and I was sitting at that for the longest. My wife had went on a trip to Mexico with her friends.
Wait, your playing weight, like walked around in?
That was it. Yeah, that was it.
Okay, I thought this was like a high school sports story or something.
No. This is I shouldn't have said playing weight. You're right. But I was actively working out at that time as well and everything. 180, 185. I was right in that little mix. Wife comes back from Mexico, brings a virus back, and it got passed to me. And the next 3 days were like the most miserable 3 days of my life. And I lost about 20 pounds. I lost about 20 pounds in the span of those 3 to maybe 4 days. And literally, I have never been able to gain back all of that weight since.
Yeah, he said he's 2 weeks since Mookie Betts last ate solid foods.
Yeah, it is.
That's scary.
Impossible. And you also don't want to eat because what's about to happen next.
Very recently, about an hour ago, Mookie Betts' wife posted about an update. She said, quote, "Thanks everyone for checking in and sending your prayers. Mookie, is doing well and getting back." So, he's getting on the upward trend.
Qualifier there. Marcus, Mookie.
I've never heard him called Marcus.
I didn't know his name was Marcus either. Marcus Betts does not have a ring to it.
No.
Mookie is hard.
Mookie, you don't forget Mookie.
Yeah.
You meet one Mookie, and that's Mookie forever.
That is.
And he's not a chubby or even a heavy-set guy. He's generally skinny, so he doesn't really have 21 pounds to lose.
Right. That is not a good sign for him. We walked into this just trying to figure out if they've been calling it an opening day, and we get into a bit of a Mookie's health concern thing. But again, I've had, what's the worst injury or health concern have you ever had? I've had a hernia. I had that in high school. I literally found out I had it in the middle of a party and tried to stick around and hang through the party with it. Ended up having a whole night in the hospital. It was incredibly bad. I thought that was the worst pain of my life. I remember telling my mom, it's over. Just let me go. Tell them to just put me to sleep. I'm done. Worst pain of my life. That, though, I would take a day of that over that 4 day or so sickness that I got from my wife that went to Mexico. That was literally because of the way that it was also happening. It was painfully a 2-exit thing all day long. I just would hang out in the bathroom some days.
I got a bad scare once when I donated blood at high school. I got something in the mail that said I tested positive for malaria.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, no.
That's a death sentence,
is that a modern-day problem? I thought we kind of eradicated malaria from the United States or whatever. It was a false test. I had to go to the doctor, get these blood tests and everything. No malaria detected. I don't know whose blood yours got mixed up with, but sorry for the false alarm. So I had 2 weeks where I thought, oh, man, this is too heavy for a sophomore in college.
You're writing notes to people I haven't talked to my Aunt Susie in a while.
Every mosquito I saw, I kind of looking scowled at. I said, are you kidding me?
I would have a war on mosquitoes at that point. Have you had a bad injury? You're an F45 gal. You're working out. Did you even sprain the arm or something? Or
I would say like more of not like I've broken my nose before. I had to get surgery because I broke my nose in a flag football game. But that wasn't as painful as I've had like cysts on like my abdomen, and I was in middle school and I was in like a ball for days in my bed, and I just couldn't like move from that. Like I was in so much pain.
That's the thing, man. Like tooth pain is also very underrated. I had my wisdom tooth removed. No, it is. You're smirking.
Yeah, Tina's talking about being bedridden for days upon days with a middle body injury, and you're saying,
Do you want to know a funny story?
I have a cavity, so I relate to how you feel, Tina.
No, it wasn't a cavity, man.
You know what's funny? You want to hear a funny story about wisdom teeth? So I only have one. I don't have to get mine removed at all. I dated a guy.
You have all of them, but only one showed up, or you literally were born with just one?
I only have one like wisdom tooth. Like I just went to the dentist too, and they told me I only have like one.
Not very wise over here.
But listen to this. In high school, I dated a guy who had 5.
Sheesh.
And he
carnivore.
And he got them removed. And basically, the first time we hung out, he only said yes to really hang out with me because he was basically so high and out of it from his wisdom teeth surgery that he was like, yeah, sure, you can come hang out. And like, that was like the...
What?
And then he came to and said, get me out of here.
What the hell
then we dated for a while. But that was like the first time we ever hung out was like him being like, yeah, you can like come over, sure. And he was like literally so bloody.
Yeah.
Like it was a mess. And I'm like, I don't know why I even wanted to come here, but...
This feels a little bit... I don't know if you should be admitting this on the air. That feels a little bit taking advantage of someone who's not above their wits right now for a date.
Yeah.
You switch the genders and we've got a big problem.
Date.
You waited until he was a little high out of his mind.
We were like talking and like hanging, like trying to hang out. And it just so happened. I was like, oh, like...
He's high as a kite. Strike.
Yes,
Make him commit.
Let's get him to say yes now.
You saw his eyes. You were like, oh, I think this is perfect time.
Looking glassy.
Yeah. Oh, man, Tina.
But he had 5.
He was on the moon. Like,
yes, literally.
Now.
So when I got my wisdom teeth removed, it was the summer of 2008, which aligned perfectly with the Michael Phelps. I think that was London Olympics it was. I can't remember the city. I do remember the dominance of Phelps in the pool. That was Phelps and
I think it was Beijing.
Beijing, you're right. I'm tripping. It was the Beijing Olympics. London was 2012. Yeah, that was a great time. I feel like that was Usain Bolt that year as well. Like I was sitting there like using the squeegee thing or whatever you call it to like
stress ball.
Not stress ball. It was like a thing I had to shoot water into my mouth to clean out like the holes in my, because you know when they remove the teeth, it's like you have a big gaping holes.
Yeah.
I had 4 wisdom teeth removed, 4 other teeth like uncovered for some odd reason, and yeah, I was like stuck on the couch for like 2 straight weeks. But I was watching a little Olympics action, watching the GOAT chase after his 23 medals. So good times for me. Not so good times right now for Mookie Betts. I can guarantee you that.
No, yeah, that's really bad. I've never had very severe like tooth problems because I just don't go to the dentist that often.
That actually is counterproductive.
Because listen, like I'd rather have the cavity and just live with it and then go amongst my days with it than go and say, hey, here's an $800 bill and you're going to hate the next visit. And can we lock you down for an appointment 6 months in the future so that we can charge you another $800 and book you for another $600 appointment?
I cannot allow you to spread this foolishness on the air. But Tina, please help him out here.
No, so first off, I'm
on my side.
No. I'm like a psycho and I like the dentist. Like I enjoy going to the dentist.
Yeah.
But when I was in high school, my parents went out of town and I had this terrible toothache. And I had to wait to get in because my parents weren't home. And the only thing that would make this like toothache go away and like not bother me was by drinking water. I had like a whole like so much water is probably bad. How much water I had, like, because I would just continue to drink a cup of water or whatever. Like the whole day, I had like a whole 32 pack or whatever of case of water in one day because I was like, I'm just going to continue to drink water because it's the only thing that will help like the pain go away at all.
I wonder if it was because like the air hitting the sensitivity on your tooth or whatever.
Sometimes no idea.
It's weird. Like tooth pain and any of that stuff, because it's such sensitive, like the tissues or whatever, the nerves in your teeth are so sensitive. It can be so extremely painful. But you're over here complaining about a cavity, C-Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a root canal?
No.
Because that's what you can end up having to have if you allow a cavity to stay too long and it grows into a situation.
Way worse.
And that sucks. I got 1 root canal And I have never let a cavity linger ever again because I'd rather get the cavity fixed, get the little fill in, than have to do what you have to do to go through to get a. You have to go to a whole separate type of a dentist.
Yes.
It's like an endodontist or something like that.
You guys ever have braces?
Yeah,
I did not.
Yeah, I did.
No, me neither. They fortunately said my teeth were growing into each other because there was I had a gap in between my two front teeth where it looked like a Michael Strahan style deformity, but no, it grew into each other and closed a little bit.
Really? So you didn't even have to do the procedure?
Nope.
I appreciate that Michael Strahan keeps the gap. It's charming. It's unique. Would you keep the gap if you got Strahan money?
I don't know. That's his thing. So
I'm saying no, you. I'm asking you.
No.
If you had a
Yeah,
gap.
because the trend is the veneers these days.
Yeah,
It's
everybody.
just buy
I would
perfect
not.
teeth.
Yeah, you
and
wouldn't.
he's got that Good Morning America, or no, the Regis and Kelly money, right?
Well, he's got all of those. I think he's done all
I guess
of
it's not Regis and Kelly if Regis is not there anymore.
Yeah, I think it was Strahan and Kelly.
They call it that?
I don't know. I didn't watch it.
Maybe it's Michael and Kelly now.
Oh, it's Michael and Kelly. I think that's actually it. That sounds way more in line. This is the happy hour with Tina.
Yes.
And it is presented by Live Golf Miami. But I am curious because for somebody who parties and kicks it as much as Tina, you also sweat those calories right out at your favorite gym.
Yes, and after probably a night out, I'm extra sweaty at F45
Yeah.
the next day. But
Ew.
hey, I'm in and out. Hey, I
What?
will
Just say
admit,
ew.
I sweat. I don't care.
Ew.
You're going to the gym. That's the part of it.
You're going to tell me about it.
What's ew
I
about
don't
her
care.
sweating in the gym? What do you assume? She just glistens?
People sweat.
Okay. We're not going to glamorize it.
I'm just letting you know. And when you go out the night before, you might be a little extra sweaty the next day at your workout.
sweating
You're getting
more
out,
stuff out.
Yeah, getting out all the cocktails and everything.
Yes.
But at 45, even after a night out, it's 45 minutes. You're in, you're out, you break a big sweat.
Yeah. What is that? Was that like moist to you when you hear the word sweat? You get like repelling?
I think
I don't know. I just, it's adverse. Like, I don't want to think about somebody else sweating.
Huh. I guess not. Have you ever guarded somebody in basketball that like had their shirt off and was sweating? I hate that.
Disgusting.
I hate that. Don't do that.
I don't even, not even if their shirt's not off. If I feel like
Yeah.
a part of their body that's clammy and sweaty, that's great. That's great offense because I want to stay away from them.
It's true. Like I do not like rubbing up against somebody that's sweating. You got to do that in sports. You also got to sweat if you go to F45, especially if you hit the cardio class.
Yes, and so don't come by me, C-Cat.
Yeah.
And any other classes, just stay away from me.
Yeah, she's going to be super sweaty,
Yeah.
man.
Or I'll be like, you need to pair us up so we can be together. But
Team hug afterwards.
yes, especially after a cardio class. They got strength classes, hybrid, a little bit of both. F45 Palm Beach Gardens, F45 West Palm Beach. Go to F45training.com to find a location near you or check out their Instagram pages to see the specials that they've got going on.
We have a cocktail of the day today?
Yes, we do. I'm going tonight to the Kravis Center
All
to
right.
see Moulin Rouge.
Who's that?
It's a show.
It's like Mulan.
No, you're the second person to say that.
I knew better than to ask that. Idiot.
Okay, what's your next idea?
I think that this is a French play about the 18th century. All right, you go. Now, what is it?
It's a musical romance.
From
France.
Is it? Was he close?
I don't know.
Tina, you
You're
know
making
all
me
about
go
this,
away from
don't you?
No, I
even
don't.
know
I'm
that.
going to the show tonight to learn about
You
it.
don't research a show before you go to it? You don't
No.
Okay, well, all right, give us a cocktail. We can tell them about Moulin Rouge later. Was that what it is? Moulin Rouge? Moulin Rouge?
It is French.
Thank you.
Young
on,
Englishman in Paris of 1899.
Come on, what did I tell y'all?
Just fit in there.
What did I tell y'all? And I do this for real, man. They don't call it theoretically speaking for nothing. Not even sure how that works. But you go. Tell us the cocktail.
The cocktail of the day is the Moulin Rouge, which is gin, apricot brandy, orange, and lemon juice. And you put that into a cocktail shaker with some ice, and you pour it into a martini glass.
That sounds pretty good
Shake
as well.
and strain into a martini glass.
Especially in a martini glass. I can rock with it. I can vibe out.
I don't know the last time I've eaten something that was apricot flavored.
I like apricots.
My girlfriend's got new conditioner that is apricot like scented.
Yeah, scent. I'm familiar with the scent, not familiar with the taste.
What else is an apricot in? I feel like it's an hors d'oeuvre situation with some maybe apricot jam or jelly.
Do you think if somebody like put an apricot in front of you today, just right now, just set it on a plate and said, "What is this?" Do you think you would be able to like name it?
No.
I know I couldn't. I have no clue what it would just look like.
I would probably get it confused with the appearance of a pear.
Maybe.
See, I love dried apricots.
Really?
Yes.
But that doesn't look like a full apricot, though, huh?
Right, those are like chips.
Yeah. No, not really chips. It kind of looks like it looks like candy.
Like little balls?
No.
Okay. I haven't had dried apricots.
No, me
But
neither.
again, you got to be really a real fruit freak to really just be able to point out an apricot, you know? That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
That's the point I was making. We're going to go to break. When we come back, we're going to replay the, if you missed it, the Happy Hour with Tina presented by Live Golf Miami Open. So stick around for that. You're not going to want to miss that. It is epic. Also, later on, Howlin' with the Wolf, Cameron Wolf, NFL Network. He was at Cam Ward's Pro Day. He joins us to break it down and talk about the potential number 1 overall pick. That's Tina. That's CCAT. I'm Theo Dorsey. Enjoy an apricot in the break. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
As market dynamics change, the quality and service you receive from your accounting firm shouldn't. Partner-owned since 1923, Anshin Accountants and Advisors take the time to get to know you and your unique circumstances to help resolve complex issues and develop innovative tax and accounting solutions tailored to meet your goals. If you're a high net worth individual or business owner eager for a strategy to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't. Visit anchin.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, recalculating what's possible.
Saturday, April 5th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., Kaiser University's flagship campus transforms into the ultimate auto showroom. The Kaiser University Auto Show of the Palm Beaches with vehicles from nearly every manufacturer. Enjoy a relaxed, no-pressure environment to find the car of your dreams. Plus, it's free. Saturday, April 5th at 2600 North Military Trail, West Palm Beach. Call 561-478-5500 or visit residential.kaiseruniversity.edu for details.
Eats, drinks, scenic views, all at Twin Peaks. Not quite ready for the craziness of March basketball? No worries, Twin Peaks has you covered. With games airing all month long, you can catch every shot during the legendary Twin Peaks Happy Hour. Whatever your vibe, Twin Peaks has it all, including their signature 29-degree draft beers. And for those true bourbon connoisseurs, dive into the exclusive Twin Peaks collection of rare bourbons, whiskeys, and tequilas. Nobody does it like Twin Peaks. Come for the game, stay for the experience.
Hi, Kevin Dalton here from the Unlimited Auto Wash. Enjoy unlimited inside and out hand washes for just $49.95 per month. And during January and February, if you join our club, you'll only pay $25 a month for the first 2 months and then $49.95 thereafter. For more info, call 561-WASH-ME-TOO.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today. Don't miss out on this incredible course. And please, putt responsibly.
Embark on a culinary road trip through South Florida at the 2025 Orange Bowl Food and Wine Celebration, presented by Florida Blue. An evening of foodie fun awaits on Friday, April 11th at the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, with unlimited food and drink tastings from over 40 of South Florida's top restaurants and chefs, and dance the night away with the live band and DJ. Tickets start at just $125, and proceeds benefit Orange Bowl Care's community initiatives. Get your tickets at orangebowl.org.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell it.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio.
It's time for the Happy Hour with Tina.
Let's do this.
Presented by Live Golf Miami, April 4th through the 6th. Get your tickets at livegolf.com. Here's Theo Dorsey.
Oh, man. That's what I'm talking about, dog. I love the new open. I love the new open, man. It's just, again, this is just for the happy hour. This is just when we have Tina and Live Golf Miami. We're kicking it right now. We're vibing. We're partying. It's a great time, Tina.
This is so fun. I love it.
This is maybe the greatest addition that you've had to this show, Tina.
Right?
And it was mostly Dave.
Yes.
Oh, man, this feels good.
I like it.
Vibe. Oh, I was supposed to tell y'all about my good friends, actually. Can I tell y'all about my good friends? First, before I do that, though, just want to point out this headline I just saw. It's a quote. I'm seeing this from BR Betting, Bleacher Report Betting. It says that Doc Rivers said, I don't get enough credit for getting the 3 wins when regarding blowing the 3-1 leads that he has in the NBA playoffs, which I'm not sure is a real quote because everything on X/Twitter or whatever the hell they're calling it these days, it feels like it's half trolling and half real. It's just a very disingenuous app. What I can say is I hope it is real because that's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I think there's a modicum of truth in there, though. Like, if he was a worse coach, he wouldn't be an NBA coach. If he was a worse coach, he wouldn't getting a 3-1 lead. Yeah,
he wouldn't get the 3-1 lead in the first place.
Exactly, like you said, he'd get swept.
That's hilarious. It's funny. I hope it's a real quote. You know, sometimes I just like for the nonsense to just play out. So, no nonsense when you go to EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. No nonsense at all, because it's just not what they deal in. That's not their currency. Is your air or water flowing perfectly in your home? If the answer is no, EDS is yes. EDS is Palm Beach County's trusted AC and plumbing expert. They make sure your air and water do flow perfectly so you can relax in comfort. Plus, you know, I'm big on budgeting these days, right? I'm heavy on got to control everything, got to know what's going out, what's coming in. So they have flexible financing options. Your budget won't stand in between you and the comfort you deserve. That's why I'm a Gold Plan member with EDS Air Conditioning and Plumbing. I see the value, literally, and I feel it as well. My home, protected, feeling good. The air and the water flow perfectly in the Dorsey household. Yours could too. All you got to do is call today or visit edsyes.com. They have been providing Palm Beach County and the greater area service since 2006. They are not new to this. They are absolutely true to this. When comfort matters, EDS is yes. EDS is yes.com.
Hard to put a price on comfort.
Yeah, you can't. You can't, man. And again, you don't ever want to in life in general, you know, I like to tell people, you know, you do have to remember when LeBron said this on his podcast. He said, you know, it's my favorite quote when somebody talked about being comfortable, being uncomfortable. You do have to do that in many parts in your life, right? Like you need to learn how to thrive in disadvantageous situations. That's how you grow. You don't want to do that with your air conditioning, though.
No one wins when you're sweating out 82-degree heat in your place of living, and you can't fix it.
Tina, you know, now he gets to bring up sweating, and it's cool? You don't have a problem with this? This guy ridicules you.
You made it sound like you don't sweat at all.
Well, no, it's a bad thing to sweat.
It's not a bad thing to sweat.
It's actually really good to sweat.
Sorry, in my context, it was a bad thing to sweat. That's why I brought it up.
Oh, you're saying because
I wasn't
your air
celebrating my
up.
sweat because my AC broke. I was not celebrating that.
Yeah. Well,
okay, fine.
Like I said before, the only thing I would be able to celebrate confidently about the Miami Hurricanes season is if Cam Ward goes number 1 overall. Now, I never said what team he would go to. I just saw this headline that piqued my interest from Teron Davenport, who writes about the Titans out of Nashville for ESPN's NFL Nation. Tina, did you break the chair?
I might have just broke the
chair. Was it the armrest?
The
what
armrest
happened?
just like fully broke as I was kind of leaning on it. And
Too
it just,
strong.
Yeah, just F45.
I was about to say, that is if you want a promo for F45, just know that Tina, these very sturdy chairs. We've had NFL players sit in that chair. We've had weightlifters sit in that chair, and Tina just snapped the armrest by just resting on it a little too hard. So that's what good sweats get you.
Yes,
CK.
I guess so.
That level of strength. Teron Davenport with ESPN. His latest story is reporting now that the Titans plan to hold an additional private workout and throwing session with Cam Ward, whom the team has been increasingly impressed with. Right? Sources tell that to, I guess, Adam Schefter today. But Tennessee is still willing to listen to offers for the first pick. But here's the key point in this article, just a second graph, fourth line. It will now take an even stronger package for the Titans to move down, those sources told Adam Schefter. This outlined in Teron Davenport's article on a recap of Cam Ward's pro day. There is a decisive gap between Cam Ward and whoever your QB2 is, whether it's Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart. And it does feel like if you're going to get Ward, it's going to happen at the number 1 overall pick. Either the Titans stick and pick or they trade back to do so. I'm curious which team has enough ammo. Now that the price seems to have gone up based off of his last pro day or yesterday's pro day, seems like Cam Ward's stock has risen even more. I wonder how much ammo it takes and which team is close enough that feels like they should pull that trigger. You got the Browns, who want a quarterback, but likely, feel like maybe they can take Shedeur. Maybe they go with a vet. You got the Giants at 3. Moving up 2 spots shouldn't be too costly. Probably like next year's first and a couple other things. You also, though, have a team like the Jets who don't have their future secured. You have a team like the Steelers who feel like they're too far back to trade up for that pick. I'm just curious, who tries to pull the trigger here and what are the Titans actually angling for? We're a month out from this draft.
It's best for NFL fans for them to trade that pick away. Listen, I'm sorry.
Man.
I like Cam Ward. I'm not interested in the Titans. They just don't have anything for me right now. I don't want to tune into a Titans game. Maybe Cam Ward would change that, but I'd rather see some fireworks in New York or anywhere else.
Yeah.
But also, if we're hearing that the stock of Cam Ward has gone up from the only person other than Cam Ward who benefits from his stock going up, I'm taking it with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Because, of course, they're going to say, wait a second, this guy's unbelievable.
Right. We are convinced.
The price went up. This is incredible. I can't believe we were fortunate to have this pick in the year 2025. Just so happens to be the pick of Cam Ward.
Yeah. Yeah. It would make sense for them to inflate the stock of this pick. But I also do believe that the gap between Ward and any other quarterback, at least, is that big. And if you want a quarterback, he's the guy to get. I don't know, man. As long as he goes number 1, I don't care. I would prefer it to be maybe the Giants. If the Giants trade up and get Cam Ward, you got Malik Neighbors, you got the Big Apple, you got him in the NFC East. Look at that division at that point. Is Dak Prescott? I'm not saying Cam Ward's going to step right in and be the best quarterback and be better than Dak Prescott. But, in 2 years, would Dak Prescott be the worst quarterback in that division?
I mean, he's at least popular.
He will be.
By association. Jalen Hurts, you can't argue with winning. You can criticize some of his game. Jaden Daniels was the story of last NFL season. And Cam Ward has endless possibility.
Yeah.
And then you have Dak Prescott, who you realize in year 1 might be the most overpaid player in the NFL.
Gosh. Yeah, man. Things will heat up in the NFC East. There's not much to glean out of the AFC South. Plus, the Titans themselves, you're right. Just no aura. It's been a while. Derrick Henry was a good watch. It's just been a while since that team has mattered in a big way. You know what matters to me right now more than anything else?
What?
The Last Call. The Last Call brought to you by Tina here in her app Happy Hour, her Happy Hour takeover of Theoretically Speaking. Tina, the Last Call today is brought to you by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Before I tell you more about Baptist, let's hear, actually, you know what? I'm going to tell you about Baptist on the front end since we're going to do a fill in the blank, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
All right. So Tina will give us her words of wisdom, her last call, or parting shot. And it's presented to you by Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Is joint pain affecting your quality of life? At Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, our team is experienced in traditional joint replacement surgery, as well as new, less invasive treatments, with the goal of returning you to what you love as quickly as possible. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care has offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho. TinaTheortho. Tina, last call season.
This last call is a little bit different. It is a fill in the blank, but is lyrics. Today is Big Sean's birthday.
Oh, I'm winning this one. Easy. Easy.
That's right.
Call it.
Beautiful girls.
That's
no.
That's Sean Kingston.
I hate you, C-Cat. I hate you and this new version of you that is beardless. Both of them suck now. Jeez. Have some respect.
3 words. Beautiful girls, I can't. 3 words. So why would I stop?
Hammer time.
Wait. So why would I stop? 3 words after that.
Yes.
If it's working.
No.
Wow.
Theo, you're very confident.
This is crazy. So why would I stop?
So why would I stop? I'm Big Sean.
Ass. So why would I stop? It's my time.
No.
So why would I stop?
Jeez, this is tough.
I'm the
this
best.
Is a lyric. It's in a
This
song.
is a lyric.
In a song.
Why? What possessed you to do this today? Is it his birthday?
It's just, I just said that.
Oh,
It's his
sorry.
Birthday,
Yeah.
dude. Have some respect.
Bad reading comprehension.
So why would I stop? So why would I stop? That's such a... All right, how about we get the next line? The next word.
I.
Do this. I do it.
No.
Is this from...
I'm great.
This is from the song, Why Would I Stop?
It's from Why Would I Stop?
Why would I stop? And it is, so why would I stop? Blank, blank, blank.
Wow, I don't know this.
Well,
I can't think of it at all.
So why would I stop? Or I.
I.
Am birthday boy.
That's
No?
4 words.
Okay.
I am is right.
I get money.
I am me.
No.
I am nice. I am elite. I am big. I am Sean.
I am funny. I am Sean.
I am him.
All right, time's up.
What is it?
Unstoppable.
Oh my gosh. I am unstoppable. Why would I stop? Dang it. Thank you, Tina. That was the last call. I feel like an idiot. On the other side, Cameron Wolf joins us from NFL Network. He joins us to talk about Cam Ward's Pro Day with Miami. So stick around. That's C-Cat. That's Tina. I'm Theo Dorsey. We're Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Hi, this is Scott Smith with Smith Ball Baez and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. We are a Florida civil trial law firm that specializes in the areas of personal injury and wrongful death. Our offices are located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Our lawyers have litigated thousands of matters at the Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River County courthouses. Our lawyers, paralegals, and other numerous members of our legal team live in Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast cities and towns such as West Palm Beach, Port St. Lucie, Lake Worth, Palm Beach Gardens, Palm City, Jupiter, and others just like you and your families. We are a statewide recognized law firm, but it is your community and your families that we live and associate with on a daily basis. Our most satisfying achievement is when we know that our legal power has helped a fellow member of our Palm Beach County and Treasure Coast community secure a fair and just huge result. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball Baez and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball Baez and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Is your credit on life support? Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Local bank representatives will be on site to grant special approval to consumers who meet certain minimum criteria. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach wants to approve you so you could drive home your new Kia today. Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. Hello, is this thing on? I repeat, Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach will be hosting a credit clinic at the dealership today and tomorrow. If you have a job bringing home $350 weekly, the credit clinic wants to approve you for a new Kia today. So what are you waiting for? Don't miss the credit clinic today and tomorrow at Greenway Kia of West Palm Beach. Call 800-NEW-KIAs or go online at greenwaykiawestpalmbeach.com.
We want to see ya in a Greenway Kia.
Credit affects down payment and approval term.
Hey, y'all get some more drinks going on. I sound a whole lot better.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is Theoretically Speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
It's about that time here on Theoretically Speaking. I figured, especially coming off of a historic pro day, I'm going to call it that as a Canes fan because, damn it, we ain't got much else to be happy about these days. Cam Ward, who literally lit it up last year, the best single season as a quarterback in the history of the Canes football program. Despite lacking the wins that they needed to get to the conference championship game and to get to the 12-team playoff, Cam Ward set the record for all-time passing touchdowns, and he also has a strong potential to be the number 1 overall pick in April's NFL draft. A man who witnessed that pro day in person is a dear friend of ours here on the show, Cameron Wolf, NFL Network reporter, who's fresh off of the Cam Ward experience. We're howling with the Wolf. Cam, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. I am feeling great. I was the second most important Cam yesterday, which was good about me. That's all good. I'll take first then.
I was about to say, if you're going to be honest about it, I wonder if you're excited about the fact that you have a guy like Cam Ward who carries your first name and wears it proudly and is unapologetic about how confident he is in his game, but also a guy like Cam Ward who feels like it's not just the aura on the field, but he's that great in person when you're talking to him, when you're asking him about what he's going to do at the next level in the NFL. What do you feel like you picked up from him if that was maybe your first time just interacting with him on a man-to-man basis?
Gotcha. Yeah, no, I've interacted with him on small occasions previously, but this was probably the most expansive. And I'll tell you what, he's got a lot of confidence.
Man.
You know, you meet him, and he's reserved naturally as a one-on-one, but when you get to see him on the football field, he's got a little confidence, he's got a little swag. And there was a moment during the pro day, if people were watching, where he throws a throw off of one leg and hits a dime in there, and he goes and barks at a couple of Titans guys with T-shirts on. Well, that was the team president and the general manager. And so I asked him after the pro day what he said to him, and he said to them, I'm solidifying it today. Ooh. And I asked him, did they hear you? And he said, I made sure they heard me. And I'm like, okay. I like that level of confidence, that level of swag from my quarterback. Some people may call it cockiness, but to me, that's a guy who knows he's deserving of the number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, man, like this dude is the real deal. I felt that when I first spoke with him at the ACC kickoff, ACC football media days in the summer ahead of Miami season. Everybody thought Florida State would be the top dog in the ACC. Everybody thought that the Hurricanes could potentially be the 3rd best college program in the state of Florida, but he was the difference maker. He proved everybody wrong with his play on the field this year. What do you think his ceiling kind of is? What's the feel around the league to where this guy can blossom into if when he starts playing on Sundays?
Yeah, it's funny because early on in the draft process, there was a lot of talk of Cam versus Shador and who's 1, who's 2. Is it just the best of a bad quarterback class? If more I talk to teams, they say there is a clear gap, and Cam is the clear number 1 in this class. And Shador's, somewhere behind him second. And there is belief that he has elite potential. That really has been the only question that's been limiting Cam, is that he's not the biggest guy, he's not the strongest guy, he's not the fastest guy. So it's okay, can he be a top 3, top 5 quarterback in this league? But talking to coaches, including the Titans head coach, Brian Callahan, they talked about his potential, his ceiling, his ability to make plays inside and outside of the pocket. And also the instincts and the intangibles, things you can't measure. So I had one coach reference the calmness and poise he had was similar to what we saw with Jaden Daniels last year. Now, they're different style quarterbacks, but that type of trait is really a trait of success. And so he's a lot of experience. He started 5 years in college football. And so there's hope that he can come in and contribute not only day one, but potentially be an upper tier starter for many years in this league.
Right. He also doesn't he seem to feel like he has that level of work ethic and that level of dedication. Yeah. Now I don't know how his mom treats him. I don't know if she fends off the ladies like Jaden Daniels' mom does, because you know that could be a distraction. But outside of that, like, the dude is so locked in and honed in on being a star, and it makes sense because of like where he came from, how he had to get it out of the mud with football, right?
Yeah, he was a 0-star prospect coming out of high school. Like, they didn't even give him 1 star. I don't even know you play NCAA if you can even recruit 0-star prospects. But that's where Cam Ward was, and that's how he ended up in Incarnate Word. So he essentially came from people saying he would be nothing and made himself the potential number 1 overall pick. You're right, the work ethic. I got a chance to meet his dad, Calvin, this week. He works essentially as his agent doing his contract. He's a guy who handles business for big companies. And so he has the workman-like perspective that I'm sure, his dad put on him. But you also see a level of intelligence, too. I think one thing talking to teams that maybe he doesn't get enough credit on is how smart he is. He's been great on the board in team rooms, and there's often a cliche when it comes to athletic black quarterbacks that it's just their skill set. Well, Cam's got it all. He's got the smarts. He's got the ability to read defenses, and I think whoever drafts him, and it seems likely it'll be the Tennessee Titans, is going to end up having them a franchise quarterback for years to come.
Now, Cam, CCAT and I were going back and forth on this earlier. We're trying to figure out, are the Titans brass just trying to like angle and leverage up this pick so that people can maybe trade up for it? Or do you get a feel that they really do believe, like, we're in the AFC, we have to have a A-tier quarterback to compete in this conference, and this guy could be that?
Well, they've been scouting him since, end of last year, early this past season. Like, they were at Georgia Tech's game this past year, and they've got a lot of evaluation of him. My thought is that, especially as the process is going on and they've got to know him, they get more amped up on taking him 1 overall. I think you're looking at a situation where they can't put Will Levis back out there last year like they did last year. They got a new stadium coming in 2027, and they got to entice people why to care about Titans football, and there hasn't been much reason to care about Titans football in the last few years. And so I do think they've listened to calls, but it's hard to pass on a quarterback at 1 when you need one, and that's the gauge I get. I got a chance to talk to their head coach, Brian Callahan, and he was telling me that he thinks that Cam would be a great fit with the system, and he loves everything about him. And once your coach signs off on it, it's really just up to the front office and pulling that trigger. Now, the Giants were at his pro day too, the general manager, Joe Shane, and he was, having those conversations. And, I can only imagine how many kids he's trying to offer to figure out how he can get up to number 1. And so you never know if that Godfather offer is big enough. But as of now, I think that it's much more likely than not they stay at number 1 and take Cam Ward.
Now, Cam, right now, if you look at next year's NFL draft, the quarterback class is such deep compared to the one this year. Is that going to have any effect on if this number 1 pick is traded or not?
It's all a factor. Teams always look a quarterback class ahead. But I had one scout say this to me. Every year we say, hey, the quarterback class next is going to be this incredible one, and then something happens. Somebody doesn't play as well. Somebody gets hurt. Somebody decides to stay at school, and then it's only 2 guys that are worth playing. And so you're always waiting until next year. He said if you keep waiting until next year, you're not going to be around next year to see it. And so some of these teams got to make a decision now to really solidify that job.
Speaking of General Manager Joe Shane, he was at the pro day. He might have also been handing in early applications. See if there's a backup. Cam, hey, appreciate you as always. Howling, where's my howling with the wolf button? Here, it didn't. Can you hit it? I got to hear that howl one time before we get him out of here. My last quick question: you've got about 30 seconds here. Do you think Heat fans boo Jimmy Butler tonight at Kaseya Center?
Yeah, I think you get more boos than cheers. A few cheers, but mostly boos. I think they're hurt. They're hurt how he left them, and the team's not doing well. So I think, hurt people hurt people.
I get it. I can't stand to hear and see that, but I appreciate your time, Cam. We'll catch up with you next week. That is it. That was Cameron Wolf from NFL Networks. Thanks for tapping in on a Tuesday. Go in love, go in peace, go in joy.
Improve your golf game fast at the all-new Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center has the facilities, tools, and coaching you need. Enjoy the best facilities in the area with an expansive chipping and putting area, practice bunkers, a huge putting green, plus a 2,000 square foot indoor training area with 3 hitting bays, cutting-edge analysis technology, and more. The Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center in the heart of Palm Beach County off I-95 and the Turnpike. Find out more at kaisergolfcenter.com.
At St. Lucie